Colleen hearing the echo, like it's on her end, because I can hear an echo on her, but not on you.
Fascinating. All right. Well, let's just for the fun of it ask everyone to mute right now, except me. I think I can figure that out. Um, Hi everyone. I'm Angela Heck. I'm the executive director here, and I just wanted to really say thank you to everyone for being a part of this phenomenal event. We're here on Treaty One territory and the homeland of the Red River Métis, and are very grateful to be sharing this land with all of you and gearing up for an incredible festival. I just wanted to also say a huge shout out to everyone who has been working so tirelessly behind the scenes here. Zachary is here and he's put an incredible amount of love and attention into the festival program this year, which is honestly one of the best that we've had for, and they've all been amazing. So this one's really great. Lorraine Thomas behind the scenes here, you all know and love, and she's been doing a crazy awesome job these last few years and uh, making this volunteer program really tremendous. And of course, we welcome Ash, who is our volunteer coordinator here. And so big shout out to Ash as well. And behind the scenes, you'll also know Elena, Robbie, and Mitch, who are part of our team here, along with our regulars, Alistair and Jacques. So that's the entire staff, and you'll be seeing them throughout. So we're gearing up to have well over 250 volunteers this year, possibly even up to 300. And you all know that this would not run without your incredible energy and passion for the festival. So we're really grateful to see you all. Thank you. You'll see me around, and I will now hand this over to Zachary, Lorraine, who's coming up.
To me. Oh,
There we go.
okay, we're echo free here again in our environment. Hi, everybody. I am Zachary. I am the artistic director here at Jazz Winnipeg. It's a pleasure to see you all. I have you on gallery so that I can see a lot of you with your cameras on. And it's really nice to see so many familiar faces. There's a lot of people in this volunteer program who've come to be my annually returning friends each June. So I'm super happy to see all of you joining us on the call today. We are just going to take this time to basically walk through the general information that all of you need to have as volunteers so that you have a successful experience sharing your time with us and so that everything runs as smoothly as possible. We have a really brilliant young person working with us this year who's named Ash, who's put our volunteer handbooks together. They're working as our volunteer coordinator here at the festival. And I'm going to ask them now to share the volunteer handbook on the screen. And we're just going to kind of make our way through this together. We can start at page 1, Ash, with the welcome. Groovy. Can everyone see this okay? I can. So awesome. So this is our volunteer handbook. We put one of these together every year. It's full of essential information for volunteers, helpful tips and tricks for getting the most out of your experience, and important information like our safer environment policy and things that you may need to know during the festival. So I'm going to have you click forward, Ash. One more. Perfect. Again, welcome to you all. Welcome back if it's your returning year. And if it's not, if it's your first year volunteering with us, like a huge welcome to you. Welcome to our crazy production that we put on each year. I just wanted to share here that Jazz Winnipeg is committed to fostering a harassment-free, safe environment where everybody, artists, board members, employees, volunteers, and stakeholders are all treated with respect and dignity and humanity. And so we ask all of our volunteers to acknowledge that they have read and agreed to our Safer Spaces and Anti-Harassment Policy, which you can visit at jazzwinnipeg.com/about. And when you get this handbook, it's being sent to you all digitally. You can also click the link in the handbook to review that there. All right, Ash. Whoop. Let's go. Perfect. We're going to start with the fun part. So, in return for volunteering with us, we do like to offer what perks we can to volunteers. So, we're offering some benefits specifically for you all as a crew. starting with some discounts on shows. We're offering 25% off our headlining shows, Soul Supreme live in concerts, the Miles Electric Band, and the Jason Marsalis Quartet. There's some information here on how you can access these. Most of them are accessed via putting in a code at checkout to get your 25% off. And it says must be used by the start of the festival by June 15th. If you're not working that night, I would highly encourage you to go check out these shows. They are all awesome in their own way. Um, totally different types of music, some exciting artists. We're also inviting everyone to attend. This is free and open to the public, an event called In Her Element. It's a roundtable featuring some of the amazing women in jazz who are on our lineup. Saturday, June 20th, we have an incredible lineup at Old Market Square that features some of the best and brightest women in jazz in Canada and across North America. Many of those artists are joining our own ED, Angela Heck, at the Winnipeg Art Gallery to talk about what it is like to be a woman working in music at large, what it's like to work in this music, jazz music, and what it means to them, and what their experiences can share with you as audience members about life and arts and all sorts of other exciting stuff. We're also offering free access to our shows at Little Brown Jug Patio on the 18th and 19th. I would highly encourage you to check out those shows as well. It's a series on the 18th and 19th we're calling our New Groove series, and it is comprised of artists who are young performers. They're the future of jazz here in Winnipeg. They're all incredibly talented. They're working across, again, a range of styles of jazz from sort of Django Reinhardt inspired swing to some funk music to some truly like straight ahead jazz. And it will blow you away what these talented young people have to offer. So be sure to get out and see them at Little Brown Jug. We are offering discounts at select restaurants across the Exchange District. We know that quite a few of you spend a good amount of time here during the festival. So there's a list here of restaurants like King and Bannatyne, Across the Board, Smokes Poutineery, Danook Restaurants, and Bodegos, where you can access specific volunteer discounts by showing your ID badge. And lastly, we invite you all to our volunteer appreciation party. This is maybe my favorite part of the festival and the part I'm usually the most tired for. We do this at the end to wrap everything up with you with joyous music and celebration and a couple of adult beverages. This is at Little Brown Jug on June 23rd. It's a Tuesday from 5 to 8 p.m. Your volunteer badge will get you in. And we do have some live music happening. Amber Epp and Emmanuel Bach are coming to play some jazz and Brazilian music for you all. So super excited about that. So we're just going to quickly go over our volunteer rights and code of ethics, start with the fun stuff, move into the serious stuff. As a volunteer, we identify that you have a right to be identified as a volunteer and to be treated as a coworker. We want you to be informed about festival policies, programs, and procedures. We want you to feel comfortable with the tasks that are assigned to you. That's huge. We want you to feel free to make any suggestions you may think will help the festival. You can email them. There's an email address here, volunteers@jazzwinnipeg.com. You can tell your crew coordinator. You can tell me. You can tell Angela, Lorraine. Volunteers really make this festival run. It's like the core gears that make this whole thing happen. So your feedback is hugely invaluable. We want you to be recognized for your contributions to the festival. We always try and shout out our volunteers from on stage every chance we can. We want you to feel safe and be respected while you're on your shift. And we want you to enjoy the festival when you're off your shift. Any concerns that arise during your experience as a volunteer should be communicated to a crew coordinator or to festival staff. We take any concerns that come up very seriously. We want this to be nothing but a positive experience for everyone involved. And we want you to be able to work in a safe, harassment-free environment where you're all respected and treated with dignity. So this we get to this place by employing our code of ethics, which is a set of rules that ensure everyone is treated fairly and understands what is expected of them. As an ambassador of the festival, volunteers should present themselves to the public in a positive way, both in behavior and attitudes. We always ask that you make customer service your first priority. We do ask that you are not going to consume alcohol, drugs, or any other intoxicating substances while you're on duty or prior to the start of your duty. If you do show up to a volunteer shift visibly intoxicated, you will not be permitted to work, and we will politely ask you to not do your volunteer shift for that day. We do require that you do not use festival cash or property for personal advantage. Any questions that come to the media should be referred to Jazz Winnipeg staff. You might see people out taking photos or video on site, and if they've got questions for you, just shoot them our way. Um, your volunteer tags and your your ID tags and your t-shirts are non-transferable. You should not be sharing them or giving them to someone else. We use them to identify you, so they need to stay with you. That one's pretty self-explanatory. We do explicitly prohibit recording audio or video. This applies to everyone on site except the accredited media and volunteers who are there with limited recording privileges as specified. Um, all of our staff, contractors, and volunteers abide by this Jazz Winnipeg Safer Environment and Anti-Harassment Policy that we mentioned at the beginning of the call. And we do note that failure to adhere to any of the above may result in disciplinary action or dismissal from the organization. Perfect. So what are you going to be doing? What are the different roles and what are your responsibilities during the festival? Well, it starts with tonight, orientation. Orientation is what we're all living through in this moment together. It's to ensure you have all the information you need to know about your duties and to get ready for the festival. We follow this with a round of crew-specific meetings. So in advance of that, at those meetings mostly, you'll get your ID tag and your t-shirt. They have probably communicated to you where these meetings are happening. Probably, they've definitely communicated to you where these meetings are happening and at what time you're getting together with your specific crew to talk about the work that you'll be doing. You'll be issued an ID tag. They look really cool this year. They've got some fun festival artwork on them, and they're used to ID you. They have your first name on them. And if you lose your tag, please contact us to get it replaced. We also have some cool t-shirts. Ash is wearing one of our t-shirts this year. If you see her tile anywhere on your screen, they're a really nice sort of sky blue color this year. This is your team jersey. It identifies you as a volunteer. It literally says volunteer on them in many cases. We do require people to wear this while you're on your shift. We ask that while you're wearing this, that you abide by our volunteer code of ethics and our safer environment and anti-harassment policy. And please wear your 2026 shirts. We know that lots of you have volunteered for many years, but it is easier for people who are experiencing the festival to see us all in one cohesive look, to be able to find volunteers to help them. If you are wanting to go to a show or something after you are volunteering, we ask that you wear another shirt to bring over it afterwards. Sometimes people will turn them inside out, but we just ask that you don't wear it when you're not actively on shift. Last on this page, parking. We're in the Exchange District, folks. It's very limited parking down here, and there are hundreds of us coming down. So unfortunately, we cannot provide parking to volunteers. If you have any questions about some of the best places to park, helpful tips or tricks or anything, reach out to your coordinator and they will be in touch with you. Perfect. So shifts for the festival. If you are going to be late at all for your shift that has been scheduled, we just ask sorry, I get distracted by the questions. I just saw it in the chat. We ask that you communicate to your coordinators if you're going to be late for any shifts. You should have their phone number, their direct phone numbers. You can shoot them a text, give them a call, whatever both of your preferences are. We hope to have all the shifts covered for the entire festival, but there may be times where you are required to leave your scheduled venue and fill in at another one. If that's required, your crew coordinator will be in touch with you to okay that with you and to notify you that that is happening. Please be aware that this festival is almost entirely run by volunteers. I can speak so much to that. I was a volunteer crew coordinator for several years before I worked here, and have seen firsthand and experienced firsthand that the volunteers are the backbone of this festival. They make so much happen. We ask you to treat each other with kindness and respect, to be on time for your shifts. Bring everything you need, from hats to sunscreen to reusable water bottles, your t-shirt, your ID tags, so that we can all have the best experience possible. We do offer safe walks. We know that it can be a little late in the Exchange District sometimes when you're down here, and we know that there are some sketchier streets than others in this neighborhood. So we offer a safe walk to your car. You can ask any of the staff or anyone who is a crew coordinator, etc., to help you arrange that, or we encourage you to come in pairs. If there is an emergency, we do recommend you to call 911 and immediately report that to either myself or to Angela, who you saw at the beginning of this call. And then if you're working in Old Market Square and you come with some personal belongings you need stored during that time, you can drop them off here at the Jazz Winnipeg office and pick them up to take them home with you before the end of the shifts. Next slide. Perfect. We keep a lost and found here at the office. We always get a surprising amount of car keys during the festival and hopefully not from volunteers. So if you're ever missing anything, it may end up here at the office. Come and check in with us. We also have incident report forms here. So if there is a serious emergency as detailed on the page before and you want to report that to me and Angela, we will probably walk through filling out an incident report form with you here at the office. New this year, we've added a lost child procedure. The safety of everyone attending the festival is our top priority. So if you are alerted to a situation where there's a lost child, either by a parent or guardian, by the child themselves, or someone on site, immediately notify security or a Jazz Winnipeg staff member. That will initiate the appropriate response, which would include securing exits, deploying a staff to search the site, or escorting a found child to the Jazz Winnipeg office. Do not attempt to search for the child on your own, and do not escort a child to the Jazz Winnipeg office without first notifying security. Lost children should be escorted to the Jazz Winnipeg office only by security personnel. And when you're talking to a lost child, that can be a really scary situation for them. So remain calm, reassure the child or parent, and follow the directions of security and festival staff at all times. And Marcel asked here in the chat, what about the lost parent procedure? Unfortunately, I think that one is beyond us, Marcel.
Same thing.
It's the same thing I heard in reverse, says Angela. So just a crew specific policy while we're still here in the policy section of the chat. This is for our event safety crew. There's a lot of you. It's one of our biggest crews in the whole festival. So this is what we call our event safety no force policy. Our event safety volunteers should not come into any physical contact with jazz festival patrons. Our volunteers should never allow themselves to be engaged in any sort of physical or verbal altercation. Event safety volunteers should not attempt to physically move or remove any person from a venue or site. Your primary task is to ensure the safety of our patrons by being watchful for potential problems. If there are safety concerns, please alert any of the following: Cerberus Security Inc. They are on site at Old Market Square, a venue manager or Jazz Winnipeg staff at an indoor venue, a professional security team member at specific venues like the Burton Cummings Theater, or the Winnipeg Police Service. This is for the safety of everybody involved and most of all for yours. Some more crew specific policies. This is for bar and bar sales crew. So bar sales crew is a new name that we've given to what used to be beverage tickets crew. We're sort of changing our bar policy or our bar procedures a bit this year. They've got a new name, bar sales. So this is our liquor service and security policy. For the past 35 festivals, our festival has been committed to safety and has taken place without serious incidents, thanks to the professionalism of staff and volunteers. We take our responsibility as a liquor licensee very seriously and depend on the dedication of our volunteers to ensure the success of the festival. This section is designed to provide volunteers with the information needed to ensure the potential safety of our volunteers and the safety and comfort of our patrons. These are the Jazz Winnipeg Liquor Service rules and regulations. In accordance with the Liquor License Act, no activity shall be permitted that would promote immoderate consumption of alcohol. No open bars, no drinking competitions, no drinking games, etc. All staff at the event must be trained to a standard acceptable to the license holder, be experienced, and recognize their responsibility for identifying signs of intoxication and refusal of service. Staff should be easily identifiable by their clothing and our identification. That is why our volunteer t-shirts are an absolute must. Alcoholic beverages must be sold at the standard price. Non-alcoholic beverages must be available and are some really good ones this year. Food must be available for the duration of the event. No alcohol other than that provided under the liquor license may be brought into the event. That's an important one to watch out for in venues like Old Market Square. And only 2 drinks can be served at a time. This can be 2 beers, 1 beer and 1 standard drink, or 1 double and 1 standard drink. Continuing with that, our liquor service and security policy reserves the right to refuse admittance to the event, despite the patron being in possession of a valid ticket, to any person believed to be underage, intoxicated, high on drugs, rowdy, or otherwise troublesome. Refuse the service of alcohol to any person believed to be underage, intoxicated, high on drugs, rowdy, or otherwise troublesome. Request the removal from the premises of any person believed to be underage, intoxicated, high on drugs, rowdy, or otherwise troublesome, and to post signs indicating these policies at the entrance to the venue. Violations will be taken care of appropriately. Again, you can refer any incidents to the executive director, Angela, to myself, security, or to the police. Jazz Winnipeg will determine the required level of staffing, including the presence of professional and volunteer security necessary for liquor service. And we require all volunteers and staff involved with liquor service to attend an orientation session with presentations from the staff of Manitoba Liquor, Gaming, and Cannabis Authority, which happens just after this call. We've got a helpful list here of safety and support contacts for you, including our Safe Walk program, our security, the non-police emergency line, the fire paramedics non-emergency line, and the downtown community safety partnership line. These also are on the back of the volunteer badges that you're presented with, so you have this information on you at all times during your shift. That's a lot of boilerplate information, everybody. Thank you for listening and being engaged with that. Now, something more exciting. I get to introduce the new crew for this year to you. We have several returning on our crew this year and several new folks on our crew this year, starting with Ash, who is our volunteer lead coordinator. They are the person making this whole Zoom session happen. They've been doing some amazing work coordinating all the work that you guys are doing with you. We're happy to have Alistair Dunlop back at the festival as our technical director. Alistair has been here quite a long time. I want to say it's over 20 years, if I'm not mistaken. This is, I think, his 4th year as technical director, and we're super happy he's on board. Angela Heck continues to be our executive director. She is the brilliant mind who keeps all this whole thing together at the hub of all the craziness spinning around her. We have on board a new staff member named Mitch Cruz. He's our communications specialist. He's taken over all the marketing and information sharing for the festival, and he is a really fun and hilarious guy. I'm excited for you all to meet him who have not met him. He will probably brighten or ruin your day with a well-placed pun, depending on how you feel about puns as sense of humor. Jacques Richet is back with us as our production manager. You'll see him on site in Old Market Square quite a bit. I'm Zachary Rushing. I'm the artistic director here at Jazz Winnipeg, although it has my old job title in here as programming director. We welcome Robbie Sigurdsson as our production assistant. Robbie also is super lovely. He's one of the nicest guys. You're going to see him in Old Market Square a lot too. And we're welcoming back Elena Sikorsky. She was with us last year as our box office administrator, now working as our festival administrator, tackling many things from box office to merch to coordinating volunteers. Elena has been absolutely pivotal in making the festival happen this year. So that's our core staff. But we really couldn't make this festival run without our crew coordinators. So we've got Jeanette returning as our bar crew coordinator. She's joined this year by Lee Fernandez, who is our assistant bar crew coordinator, which is very exciting. We're happy to have Lee on board. We've got Linda Graham heading up our bar sales crew. I can see you on the call, Linda, so I'm just, hello. Mark is returning as our Enviro crew coordinator. Daryl continue to co-lead the event safety team. Lorinda is joining us as our event safety assistant crew coordinator this year. So we've got a 3-person team at the head of event safety. Lori O'Brennan is back as our finance crew coordinator. Ron Walpole is here doing our front of house crew, which is a bit of a mashup of some different crews that used to exist, box office and ushers, sort of fulfilling shared duties under one renamed crew. Kaz Zisk continues to be our media crew coordinator. He's helping make sure that the festival gets photographed and filmed beautifully in conjunction with Mitch, our communication specialist. Bev Mulholland joins us again as our merchandise sales crew coordinator, making sure that everyone can get all the fabulous merch we had made this year. We also, yeah, yep, they're next on my list. She's joined by Nancy Betcher and Christine Rawlick, who are the assistant crew coordinators for merchandise sales this year. Colleen Metke is returning as our raffle crew coordinator. I also saw Colleen on the call, just a quick wave. Marcel returns as our stage and setup crew coordinator. I also saw Marcel on the call. It's like being here with all my friends. Julia Sharapova is coming on as our stage and setup assistant crew coordinator this year. Barb Paulson returns as our transportation crew coordinator. Um, I think Barb is our longest standing volunteer crew coordinator of everyone. We're so thrilled that she is joining us for yet another year. Angela Connor and Toby Maloney are joining us as venue managers. I also saw Angela on the call earlier. And Lorraine Thomas returns as our dedicated volunteer coordinator. She really is at the heart of this part of the festival, our volunteer experience. I'm sure she knows every one of you by name, actually, and will be seeing you with a big smile on her face at the festival. Another quick perk to mention is that there will be one free pop or bright water provided per shift. When you are volunteering, you can see your crew coordinator for a ticket. And also remember to bring your water bottle. There is water refill stations at Old Market Square and at every indoor festival. So just a quick reminder here to bring your t-shirt, your ID tag, your water bottle, and to dress for the weather, rain or shine. Uh, there will be no rain. I've done all the manifesting in the world to ensure there will be no rain for 6 days. Great. We've got a map in here. If you are unfamiliar with some of our venues, we're at mostly historic venues this year, places we've used before, like the Burton Cummings Theater, the Fort Garry Hotel, our traditional outdoor home at Old Market Square, which is right next to our office here at Jazz Winnipeg. We're returning to Little Brown Jug, the West End Cultural Center, the WAG, the Des Hotels Concert Hall for our second year. And we are adding to the list this year the Times Changed High and Lonesome Club, where we will be hosting our late night jam session for all 6 nights of the festival. There was a question about bikes earlier in the chats. We provide lots of bike parking here at Old Market Square. If I'm not mistaken, there's also going to be a bit of a bike tune-up station happening, possibly at Old Market Square this year, which is very exciting. So feel free to get to the festival on 2 wheels. That's what I do for the festival, and I will see you in the bike lane on the way here. Perfect. That is the review of the volunteer handbook. Um, I'm online now here for general questions. Happy to answer anything that arises at this moment. And let's take a look. So Anna has a question for night jam sessions. Will there be discounts for volunteers? That is a free event to attend. There is no cover charge at our nightly jam session. It happens free from 11 p.m. till late at night at the times changed. And this year it's hosted in conjunction by the great bassist Lindsay Woolgar and the amazing drummer Kevin Waters. You are welcome. I am going to scroll up, and I think most of these questions have been answered here. But anyone has any other questions pressing? Feel free to pop them in here now, and if I'll answer them. And if not, Spencer was a bit late to the call. Did you miss anything important at the start? Possibly, but it's all in the volunteer handbook, Spencer. So if you click the link to that, that is going to be sent around to you by Ash and Lorraine. Everything that we have gone over tonight is in the volunteer handbook. So with that, we are going to do a bit of a pivot here. So, actually, before everyone leaves, I've been asked to add that there's a few shifts we're looking yet to fill. So if you just have a couple of shifts and you're looking to be around the festival a little bit more because you love it oh so much, we are looking for 4 volunteers to work on bar sales at late night Friday and Saturday. And we're also looking for about 15 people late night on Friday and Saturday for event safety. So if you're feeling like hanging out and hearing some amazing music on your Friday or Saturday night, shoot your crew coordinator and or Lorraine and or Ash a note and let them know. And we'll see you maybe one extra day. That would be so lovely. And with that, yes, I've seen the chat there. This will be recorded, so if you have any questions about anything today, you can review that in the handbook or on this call. And now, if you are in event safety, bar or bar sales, we're going to ask you to stay on this meeting to do our orientation with the LGCA. And if you are in any other crew, thank you so much for your time, but that is all we need for today. So I'm going to let some regular volunteers hop off here as we stay on with safety, bar, and bar sales. There was a question in the chat here from Hyen. Oh, hi, Kemlin. I just saw Kemlin wave in the chat. Um, uh, can I ask where we can park vehicles if we volunteer in Old Market Square? Uh, Here in the Exchange District is the answer. There's lots of street surface parking. There's a couple of paid parking lots. There's a good lot right at the top of Albert Street, actually, by the Royal Albert, that I know people like to park in. It's close by, but there is no designated volunteer parking area, as we are right in the heart of the crunchiest part of downtown here in the Exchange District. Great. So once again, just to ensure we're staying on here with event safety, with the bar crew, and with bar sales, and everybody else, thank you so much for your time.